The chlorine-scented air hung heavy in the natatorium as Alex Rivera sliced through the water one final time, his muscles screaming in protest, the crowd's roar fading into a distant thunder. He knew this lap wasn't just a swim. It was defiance, a middle finger to the faceless suits who'd stripped him of everything 2 weeks ago with a single email. Indefinite suspension for conduct unbecoming. But as he touched the wall, gasping for air, his best friend Jordan's voice cracked over the pool deck megaphone. "This is for you, Alex. Play it now." And the Jumbotron flickered to life, broadcasting footage that would unravel the entire Olympic trials board in seconds. Jordan had smuggled the camera in, hidden it in the rafters like a guilty secret, capturing not just Alex's raw, unfiltered training sessions, but the whispered boardroom bigotry that led to the ban. As the video rolled, grainy clips of executives mocking Alex's pride pin, debating his distraction from the straight-laced team ethos, the arena fell silent, then erupted, phones whipping out to live-stream the betrayal. Alex hauled himself out, water streaming down his face, locking eyes with the stunned officials in the stands. This wasn't closure, it was war, and the first casualty was the lie they'd built their empire on. Alex wiped the sweat from his brow, the fluorescent lights buzzing like angry hornets overhead, as he trudged toward the locker room, the echo of splashing water still ringing in his ears. It was June in Austin, Texas, the kind of sticky heat that turned the university pool into a pressure cooker for dreams. And for 23-year-old Alex, those dreams had been Olympic gold since he was a kid cannonballing into his abuela's backyard kiddie pool in San Antonio. Swimming wasn't just a sport. It was his anchor, the one place where the world's noise, his parents' hushed arguments over his coming out, the sideways glances in high school hallways, dissolved into rhythmic strokes and flip turns. But now, with the University of Texas Longhorns athletic board breathing down his neck, that anchor felt more like a noose. He'd met Jordan Hale freshman year, during orientation week when the Campus Rainbow Alliance threw a mixer in the student union. Jordan, with his mop of curly blonde hair and easy laugh that could disarm a room, had been the first to spot Alex lingering by the snack table, pretending to text. "You look like you're plotting a heist on those chips," Jordan had said, sliding over a soda. "Or maybe you're just hiding from the icebreaker games. I'm Jordan, non-binary chaos agent, majoring in film studies because why not capture the world's mess?" Alex had chuckled, the tension in his shoulders easing for the first time that week. And just like that, they'd clicked, two misfits navigating the straight-edged world of collegiate athletics. Jordan wasn't on the team, but he'd become Alex's unofficial videographer, tagging along to practices with a beat-up GoPro, turning mundane laps into mini-epics set to indie rock soundtracks. "You're not just swimming, man," Jordan would say, editing late into the night in their cramped off-campus apartment. "You're rewriting the rules. Let me help you show it." It was Jordan who'd encouraged Alex to wear the small enamel pin on his swim cap, a rainbow flag fused with a laurel wreath, during meets, a quiet rebellion against the team's unspoken code. And it was Jordan who'd pieced together the puzzle when the suspension hit. Leaked emails from the board, forwarded anonymously by a sympathetic coach, revealing not performance issues but prejudice. "They're scared of you shining too bright." Jordan had fumed that night, pacing the living room as thunder rumbled outside. "But we've got proof. We dropped this, and it's over for them." The apartment was a sanctuary of sorts, posters of Michael Phelps and Elliot Page taped haphazardly to cinderblock walls, fairy lights strung across the ceiling to chase away the gloom of student loans and looming deadlines. Alex collapsed onto the sagging couch, peeling off his damp t-shirt, the fabric clinging like regret. His phone buzzed incessantly, texts from teammates offering awkward support, a voicemail from his mom back in San Antonio, her voice thick with worry. "Mijo, whatever this is, we'll fight it. Your father, he's coming around." It had been 2 years since Alex came out, a tearful dinner where plates clattered in stunned silence. And though his dad had grunted something about family first, the hugs had returned, tentative but real. Still, the sting of the ban felt personal, like they'd tainted that progress with their small-town suspicions bleeding into big-league decisions. Jordan burst through the door an hour later, rain-soaked and triumphant, laptop tucked under one arm like a shield. "You were a beast out there," they said, shaking water from their hair, eyes alight with that familiar fire. The video's already got 10,000 views. Hashtags are exploding. Swim for Alex, ban the bias. But listen, there's more. They flopped down beside him, pulling up a new file. Footage from the board meeting, smuggled by Coach Ramirez, a grizzled veteran who'd mentored Alex since walk-ons. In it, Dr. Harlan Graves, the silver-haired athletic director with a reputation for old-school values, leaned back in his leather chair, smirking at a colleague. Rivera's talented, I'll give him that, but that pin? It's a distraction. We can't have the donors thinking we're running a pride parade instead of a powerhouse program. Suspend him, indefinite. Let him sort his personal matters. Alex's stomach twisted, the words landing like punches he couldn't block. He'd idolized Graves, the man who'd scouted him at regionals, promising a shot at nationals if he kept his head down and swam hard. Personal matters, Alex echoed, voice hollow. That's code for gay and unapologetic. Jordan nodded, their hand finding his in a squeeze that spoke volumes. No pity, just solidarity. They'd danced around this for months, the unspoken pull between them thickening the air during late-night edits, shared glances over takeout Thai. Jordan identified as non-binary, using they slashed them, and Alex had always respected that space. But lately, the what-ifs had crept in. What if they crossed that line? What if it shattered their friendship, the one pure thing in this storm? The next morning dawned gray and relentless, rain pattering against the window like impatient fingers. Alex scrolled through social media, the video now viral, news outlets picking it up, ESPN tweeting a teaser, The Advocate running a breaking story. Supporters flooded his mentions, queer athletes sharing their scars, allies vowing boycotts. But the backlash slithered in too, trolls calling him a woke winner, anonymous accounts digging up his old high school photos, twisting innocent hugs with teammates into something sinister. They're trying to bury you before you rise, Jordan said over coffee, black and scalding, as they plotted next moves. We go public with the full leak today. Rally the team, get coach on board. And Alex, I need to tell you something. He looked up, heart thudding against his ribs like a starting gun. Jordan's eyes, usually so steady, flickered with vulnerability. Last year, when you came out to your folks and I crashed on your couch for a week, I fell for you then. Hard. But I didn't say anything because you were hurting, and I didn't want to be another complication. The words hung there, raw and electric, the rain outside mirroring the sudden downpour in Alex's chest. He'd felt it too. The way Jordan's laugh lit him up, the quiet strength in their advocacy, how they saw him not as a swimmer or a label, but as Alex. I thought you saw me as a brother, he admitted, voice barely above a whisper. Or, whatever fits. Jordan laughed, soft and disbelieving. Fits? Alex, you're the one who doesn't fit their boxes, and that's why I love. They stopped, cheeks flushing, but the word lingered, a lifeline tossed into turbulent waters. Before he could respond, a knock rattled the door, insistent, official. Alex opened it to find 2 suits from the athletic department, clipboards in hand, faces etched with forced neutrality. Mr. Rivera, we're here to discuss reinstatement. The board's reconvening at noon. Your presence is requested. The conference room in the athletics tower smelled of stale coffee and polished oak, the long table a battlefield scarred by years of decisions that built legacies and broke spirits. Alex sat at one end, Jordan beside him, their knee brushing his under the table in silent alliance. Graves entered last, flanked by board members, mostly white men in their 50s, ties knotted like nooses, with one token woman, Dr. Elena Vasquez, whose sharp gaze had always given Alex hope. The video played on the wall-mounted screen, the room thickening with discomfort as Graves' own words boomeranged back at him. This is edited, he blustered, face reddening. Taken out of context. Context, Jordan shot back, voice steady as steel. You called my best friend's identity a distraction. That's not context, that's discrimination. Murmurs rippled, Vasquez nodding subtly, a younger member shifting uncomfortably. Alex's phone vibrated. A text from his teammate Marcus, the straight-laced captain who'd once ribbed him about the pin, but now led a petition with 200 signatures. Teams outside. Protesting. For you. Graves cleared his throat, the power dynamic cracking like thin ice. Mr. Rivera, your talent is undeniable. We've reviewed the footage from your unauthorized swim yesterday. Impressive. It was a concession wrapped in barbs, but Alex seized it. Impressive enough to compete? Or do I need to pin a heteronormative badge to prove my worth? The room tensed, Vasquez stifling a smile. After an agonizing hour of legalese and half-apologies, the verdict landed. Conditional reinstatement, pending sensitivity training for the board, and a public statement. It wasn't victory, but it was a foothold. As they spilled out into the hallway, protesters chanting beyond the glass doors, Alex pulled Jordan aside, the fluorescent hum fading to a buzz. About what you said. He trailed off, searching their face. Jordan's smile was tentative, hopeful. Yeah. Don't take it back. Because I feel it too. Have for months. Their hug was fierce, the world narrowing to that moment. The rain outside easing to a drizzle, sunlight piercing clouds like a promise. But as they joined the crowd, Alex's phone lit up again, an email from National Scouts, intrigued by the controversial freestyle phenom. The trials were weeks away, and the real race was just beginning. The days blurred into a frenzy of media scrums and strategy sessions, Austin's summer sun baking the sidewalks as Alex navigated the spotlight he'd never craved. Interviews piled up, local news crews camping outside the natatorium, podcasters probing his journey with that sanitized tone that made his skin crawl. How does it feel to turn personal pain into public power? One reporter asked, microphone thrust like a weapon. Alex, flanked by Jordan and Coach Ramirez, forced a smile. It feels like swimming upstream against a riptide. But I've got a hell of a team pulling me through. Jordan had taken the video's explosion in stride, their film studies prof pulling strings for a short doc on the scandal, turning their dorm room edits into a festival submission. Late nights stretched longer now, not just plotting comebacks but stealing kisses in the editing bay. Tentative at first, Alex's hand cupping Jordan's jaw, their lips meeting soft and searching, tasting of Red Bull and unspoken fears. This changes everything. Alex murmured one evening, foreheads pressed together amid scattered storyboards. Jordan traced a finger along his collarbone, eyes serious. Or nothing. We're still us, fighting the same fights, just closer now. But shadows loomed. Marcus, the team captain, cornered Alex after practice, water dripping from his broad shoulders, expression stormy. Look, man, I signed the petition. Hell, I started it. But some guys, they're whispering. About you and Jordan. Saying it's why the board flipped, fraternization, or some bullshit. Alex's gut clenched. Marcus had been his roommate freshman year, the one who'd blasted reggaeton during study sessions to drown out Alex's homesick sighs. They'd bonded over late-night Whataburger runs, Marcus confessing his own cracks, pressure from his preacher dad to be the golden boy. Whispers turn to shouts if we don't address it, Marcus added, clapping Alex's shoulder. Team meeting tomorrow. Lay it out. The locker room that night was a cauldron of steam and tension, fluorescent bulbs casting harsh shadows on tiled walls. Teammates milled about, towels slung low, the usual banter muted. Alex stood on a bench, heart hammering, Jordan waiting just outside like a sentinel. I know the rumors, he started, voice echoing off lockers. About me, about Jordan. Yeah, we're together. And yeah, it scares the shit out of me too. But this team? We've pulled miracle relays, stared down losses that should have broken us. If my loving who I love threatens that, then maybe it's not my fight. It's ours. Silence stretched. Then Riley, the quiet butterfly specialist with a tattooed ace flag peeking from her suit strap, raised her hand. For what it's worth, I've got your back. And his. Nods rippled, Marcus's grin breaking wide. Damn right. Now drop and give me 20 for emotional vulnerability. Relief washed over Alex like cool water, but it was fleeting. That weekend, a package arrived at the apartment, anonymous, no return address. Inside, printouts of old emails, not from the board, but from high school. Bullies who'd outed him prematurely, screenshots of texts calling him slurs, twisted into a narrative of instability. A note scrawled in Sharpie. Truth always surfaces. Dive deeper. Jordan's face paled as they read aloud. This is targeted. Someone from your past, stirring shit. Alex recognized the handwriting. Tommy Reyes, his ex from senior year, the golden boy quarterback who'd panicked post-graduation, ghosting Alex amid whispers of experimentation phase. Tommy, now coaching JV at their old high school, apparently nursing grudges in the shadows. We confront him, Alex decided, adrenaline surging. Jordan hesitated. Or we expose him. Turn his poison into our fuel. They drove to San Antonio that afternoon, the highway unspooling like a lifeline to closure, windows down, Tejano radio crackling with defiant beats. The high school loomed squat and familiar, football field scarred by memories Alex had buried under lane ropes. Tommy was on the sidelines, whistle around his neck, barking drills at wide-eyed freshmen. Spotting Alex, his face drained of color, whistle dropping forgotten. "What the hell are you doing here?" "Returning your mail," Alex said, thrusting the envelope forward, voice level despite the quake in his chest. Jordan hung back, camera rolling discreetly, always documenting. Tommy snatched it, scanning, then laughed, brittle and forced. "Ancient history, Rivera? You think a little swim scandal makes you untouchable?" But his eyes darted, betraying the bluff. "This isn't about the band," Alex pressed. "It's about you, still hiding. I moved on, found someone who sees me. Why can't you?" Tommy's jaw tightened, the field emptying as practice wrapped. In a low voice, he muttered, "You ruined me. Folks found out, cut me off. Now you're the hero? Screw that." Vulnerability cracked his armor, and Alex saw it. The boy he'd loved, twisted by fear into a saboteur. Jordan stepped forward then, calm as a director calling cut. "Tommy, this ends here. Delete the accounts, shred the prints. Or we share your side, the real one. Redemption arcs sell better than revenge." It was a gamble, but Tommy deflated, nodding jerkily. "Fine. Just go." As they peeled out of the parking lot, Alex exhaled, the weight lifting fractionally. "You were right," he told Jordan, hand entwining with theirs over the gear shift. Fuel. Back in Austin, the story broke gently, a joint statement on socials, Tommy owning his pain, Alex forgiving publicly. Views spiked again, but this time, with empathy threading the outrage. Yet the trials loomed, a colossus on the horizon, and doubt gnawed at Alex's edges. Practice intensified, Coach Ramirez pushing them through dawn sets, his gravelly pep talks laced with hard-won wisdom. "Swimming's 90% mind, kid. Don't let the noise drown you." Jordan captured it all, their doc evolving into a tapestry of triumphs and fractures. One evening, as Alex toweled off post-lap, Ramirez pulled him aside, eyes misty. "My daughter. She's like you and Jordan. Married her wife last year, against all odds. This fight, it's bigger than gold." The confession bridged generations, Ramirez's calloused hand on Alex's shoulder a baton pass. Nights with Jordan deepened the intimacy, not in fevered rushes but quiet revelations, sharing playlists of songs that mapped their scars, debating queer icons over candlelit dinners scavenged from food trucks. "What if we lose?" Alex whispered once, staring at the ceiling fan's lazy spin. Jordan rolled toward him, breath warm. "Then we swim again. Together." It was a vow, etched in the space between heartbeats. But as selection weekend neared, a curveball struck. Graves, in a bid for damage control, offered Alex a leadership role on the team, captaincy, with strings attached. "Prove you're one of us," the email read. "Settle down, focus." The implication hung. Shelve the pride, play straight. Alex's blood boiled, the offer a gilded cage. He forwarded it to Jordan, who drafted a fiery response, but Alex paused. "No. We meet him. Face to face." The showdown was set for the boardroom again, air thick with anticipation. Graves sat smug, but Alex entered flanked, not just by Jordan, but Marcus, Riley, and a dozen teammates, a rainbow phalanx. "Captain? Thanks, but no," Alex said, voice resonant. "I don't need your title to lead. We do that already, against bands, against bias." Graves blanched as cheers echoed from the hall, the power tipping irrevocably. The Olympic trials descended on Omaha like a fever dream, the Chi Health Center arena pulsing with the energy of 1,000 futures on the line. Alex arrived with the Longhorns contingent, duffel slung over his shoulder, Jordan's latest edit on his phone, a hype reel syncing his strokes to swelling strings. The air hummed with pre-race jitters, swimmers shadow-stroking in corners, coaches murmuring splits, families clutching signs in the stands. Alex's parents had flown in, his mom fussing over his pre-meet playlist, dad clapping his back with a gruff, "Make us proud, son. No distractions." The word stung, but Alex nodded, swallowing the old ache. Qualifying heats kicked off at dawn, the pool a gleaming blue vein under stadium lights. Alex's first event, the 200-meter freestyle, was a blur of adrenaline. Dive sharp, turns crisp, the wall rushing up like a finish line to redemption. He touched third, personal best shaved by a second, the scoreboard flashing his name amid gasps. Jordan hooped from the media deck, camera steady, capturing the spray-arcing celebration hug with Marcus. "That's my guy," Jordan yelled, and Alex's grin split wide, the crowd's roar a bomb. But undercurrents swirled. In the warm-up pool, a rival from Cal, slick-haired Brody Klein, whispered heir to a swimwear fortune, sidled up, smirk sharp as a lane divider. "Heard about your little drama, Rivera? Cute. But nationals aren't won on TikTok tears." Brody's crew chuckled, their suits emblazoned with sponsor logos that screamed privilege. Alex treaded water, meeting the barb head-on. "Funny, I thought they were one in the water. See you at finals." It was bravado, but Jordan caught the exchange on film, later weaving it into the doc as a foil, Brody's polished sneer against Alex's grit-forged resolve. Evenings in the athlete village were a pressure valve release. Jordan sneaking in with contraband tacos, teams mingling in the lounge with awkward small talk turning to stories swapped like trading cards. Riley introduced Alex to her girlfriend, a fencer with a scar across her cheek from a botched lunge, earned it defending a teammate from creeps, she said, winking. Over lukewarm Gatorade, conversations veered deep. Marcus admitting his bisexuality in hushed tones, fear of his dad's pulpit judgment. A diver from Florida recounting eviction threats from homophobic landlords. "We're all just trying to fly," the diver said, and Alex felt the threads weaving tighter, a makeshift family forged in vulnerability. Yet cracked spiderwebbed. Midway through the week, Alex's phone shattered the fragile peace. A call from home, his abuela's voice frail over static. "Mijo, it's bad. The heart again." She was in the hospital, San Antonio's summer heat exacerbating her arrhythmia, the one that had sidelined her from family barbecues for years. "I watched your heat on TV," she rasped. "Swam like a shark. But come if you can." Guilt crashed over him, waves of what-ifs. What if this was it? What if he missed her final stories, the ones laced with tales of her own hidden loves in 1950s Texas, a woman she'd never named? He confided in Jordan that night, pacing the cramped hotel room, city lights smearing the window like accusations. "I can't split myself. Trials or family." Jordan pulled him down onto the bed, hands framing his face. "You're not splitting, you're whole. Fly home quick, I'll cover practices here. We've got this." The decision crystallized in a red-eye flight. Alex landing in the pre-dawn haze of San Antonio, rental car humming toward the hospital. Abuela lay small in her bed, monitors beeping a mechanical lullaby, but her eyes lit when he entered, fore-dripped hand reaching. "You look like your grandfather," she whispered, "the one who died young." Whispers of not right in the head shadowing his memory. He loved fiercely too. A man, in secret. Don't let fear steal yours. Tears pricked as she spun yarns. Her youth evading matchmakers, stolen glances with a neighbor girl during rosary hours. "We hide to survive, but you? You swim into the light." Alex held her stories like talismans, the visit a bridge across generations of silenced loves. She stabilized by morning, doctors optimistic, and he flew back just in time for semis, Jordan greeting him at the gate with a thermos of café con leche and a fierce kiss. "She's a fighter. Like you." The semifinal was electric, Alex channeling Abuela's fire into each pull, surging past Brody in the final stretch to snag second. Post-race, NBC cornered him. "Emotional week. How's it fueling you?" Alex, towel draped and breathless, glanced at Jordan in the wings. "Family. Love. The stuff that makes the pain worth it." The clip went viral, humanizing this scandal swimmer, but Brody's glare from the podium promised retaliation. It came subtle at first, a tampered lane rope during relay warm-ups, nearly costing Marcus a false start. Then, whispers in the doping control line, Anonymous tips to officials about Alex's erratic behavior. Echoes of the band's ghost. Coach Ramirez stormed the judges' table, veins bulging. This is harassment, plain and wrapped in stars and stripes. An investigation cleared Alex, but the toll mounted, sleepless nights, Jordan's worry etching lines around their eyes. We're close, Jordan urged during a midnight run along the Missouri River, footsteps pounding in sync. Don't let them dim you. Finals day dawned crisp, the arena a coliseum of stakes. The 4x200 free relay anchored the morning session, Longhorns drawn against Cal's juggernaut. Alex swam anchor, the pressure of ice. Win this, and golds beckoned. Falter, and doubts devoured. The leadoff flew smooth, Riley's breaststroke a bullet, Marcus's back a metronome. Brody took Cal's fly leg, touching a hair ahead. Alex dove on the whistle, water enveloping like a second skin, strokes devouring distance. 25 left, he glimpsed the wall, lungs burning, Abuela's words a mantra, swim into the light. He touched first, by a fingertip, the buzzer blaring triumph. The team piled into a doggy paddle scrum, whoops echoing off rafters. Jordan's camera caught it all, tears streaking their lens. But as medals draped necks, Brody cornered Alex in the tunnel, voice low venom. Lucky break. But Nationals? I'll bury you. The threat lingered, a storm cloud over the horizon. Even as celebrations erupted, team dinner at a riverside steakhouse, toasts clinking with craft beers, Marcus pulling Alex into a bro hug. Captain or not, you're our heart. Back in the room, euphoria crested into intimacy, Jordan's touches reverent, mapping the freckles across Alex's shoulders like constellations. You did it, they breathed, and Alex pulled them close, the world outside fading. But sleep evaded, Brody's words gnawing. Little did he know, the real shatter was brewing. Not in pools, but in the boardrooms of power, where one video could topple empires. Nationals unfurled in Indianapolis a month later, the IU Natatorium a cathedral of competition, its vaulted ceilings echoing with the ghosts of past golds. Alex had qualified handily, the relay's glow carrying him through qualifiers, but the media maelstrom intensified, talk shows booking him as the queer comeback kid, sponsors circling warily, their logos gleaming but contracts conditional. We love the story, one rep said over Zoom, a suit from Speedo knockoffs, but tone down the activism. Focus on the wins. Alex bit back retorts, Jordan rolling eyes off camera. They want your shine without the spark. The apartment in Austin had become command central, walls papered with relay splits and Abuela's get well cards. Her discharge a small miracle. Visits home wove into the rhythm, driving her to bingo nights, her laughter a tonic against the grind. Tell me about your Jordan, she'd tease, eyes twinkling, and Alex would blush, recounting movie marathons and protest plans. She saw the depth, the way Jordan grounded him, and in her approval, Alex found armor. Team dynamics had solidified, Marcus emerging as an ally extraordinaire, organizing allyship workshops that drew campus crowds. But fissures appeared, a freshman diver, Tim, outed by a leaked grinder chat, crumbling under pressure and quitting mid-season. Alex mentored him through panic attacks in the steam room, Jordan filming a PSA that Tim's parents, initially furious, watched on loop until understanding dawned. You saved him, Marcus said one practice, high-fiving Alex post-set. Nah, Alex replied. We all did. Brody's shadow lengthened, though. At Nationals' opening gala, a glitzy affair with crystal chandeliers and power players schmoozing, Brody cornered Jordan near the bar, flute of champagne in hand. You know he's using you, right? For the sob story. Once he wins gold, poof, back to the brothers. Jordan's laugh was ice. Jealousy doesn't suit you, Klein. Alex chooses me every day. What's your excuse? The exchange buzzed through gossip circuits, Brody's camp retaliating with subtle sabotage, a misplaced heat sheet listing Alex in the wrong lane, forcing a frantic reshuffle. The 100 free prelims tested resolve, Alex exploding off the block, arms churning like pistons. He advanced, but post-race, a cramp seized his calf. Dehydration, coach diagnosed, or nerves. Jordan massaged it out in the trainer's room, thumbs firm, whispers soothing. Breathe through it. You're unbreakable. That night, Doubt crept in over room service burgers, the TV droning Olympics previews. What if Brody's right? What if I'm just the villain they need? Jordan set down their fork, eyes fierce. You're the hero they fear. And I'm all in. Semis brought the storm. In the ready room, officials huddled, then announced a protest from Cal, claiming interference in Alex's heat, citing an aggressive turn that clipped Brody's pinky. Video review dragged, tension coiling like a spring, teammates pacing lanes. Graves appeared via video link, his face a mask of feigned concern. We'll get to the bottom, son. Fair play above all. The hypocrisy rankled, but clearance came, dismissed as contact incidental, and Alex swam fire, shattering his PR to claim lane 1 for finals. The final was apocalypse now. 8 lanes of elite fury, water frothing white. Alex dove deep, surfacing streamlined. The race a symphony of splashes and splits called from the deck. At 50, he led. At 75, Brody surged, elbow brushing in a deliberate graze. Pain flared in Alex's side, but he powered through, touching the wall in a dead heat. First, by milliseconds, the chrono freezing the moment. Pandemonium, hugs, screams, Jordan vaulting barriers for a kiss that tasted of chlorine and conquest. Medal ceremony under spotlights, bronze for Brody, who accepted with a curt nod, eyes promising vendetta. Presser afterward was a circus, reporters lobbing softballs, one outlier from outsports digging deeper. Alex, this win, does it silence the haters? He leaned into the mic, Jordan's hand on his knee off stage. Nah, it amplifies us. Every queer kid watching dreaming of lanes? This is yours. Claps thundered, but backstage, a courier delivered a flash drive. Anonymous, labeled the real footage. Jordan plugged it in their laptop that night. Hotel room dimmed to conspiratorial glow. Files unfolded. Not Alex's, but Brody's. Drunken voicemails to exes, slurs hurled at teammates. A boardroom clip from Cal's donors pressuring Graves to neutralize Rivera with dirt. This is dynamite, Jordan breathed. But who sent it? A metadata trace pointed to Tim, the freshman diver. Payback for Brody's role in his outing, a quiet rebellion. We hold it, Alex decided. Use it if he escalates. Otherwise, let karma lap him. The high faded into qualifiers for Worlds. Selection's a gauntlet of politics. Graves lobbied hard, his leadership offer morphing into arm twisting. One favor. Endorse our new code of conduct. Keeps things harmonious. Alex's refusal echoed through emails, allies rallying. Marcus leaked it to allies in the press, framing it as old guard versus new wave. Backlash hit. Donor pullouts. Graves' op-ed in Swimming World decrying divisive distractions. Through it, Jordan's doc premiered at a queer film fest in Austin, a sold-out house gasping at montages of pain to power. Abuela attended, wheelchair-bound but beaming, whispering post-screening. You told our story, Mijo. Reviews poured in, Variety calling it a tidal wave of truth, and offers trickled, streaming deals, speaking gigs. But success bred strain. Jordan's schedule clashed with Alex's travel, arguments flaring over missed calls. I'm not your sidekick. Jordan snapped one video chat, exhaustion fraying edges. I know. Alex shot back, regret instant. You're my everything. Come to Worlds. Reconciliation came in a layover airport, Jordan boarding last minute. Their embrace amid gate chaos, a reaffirmation. Worlds in Budapest shimmered on the Danube, ancient spires framing modern marvels. Alex swam liberated, relays gold medal bound, but a twist lurked. Brody, selected despite bronze, rooming floors apart, tension crackling like static. One foggy morning, a joint practice turned ugly. Brody accidentally shoulder-checking Alex mid-drill, sending him gasping to the deck. Officials waved it off, but Jordan's footage captured the malice. Enough! Alex growled in the locker room, confronting Brody amid dripping faucets. What do you want? My spot. My story. Brody's facade cracked, voice raw. My dad's dying. Expects a legacy. You're everything he hates. Free. The confession disarmed, 2 sons of expectation colliding. Hate's heavy, Alex said softly. Drop it. Swim for you. Brody walked away silent, but change simmered. Finals eve, he knocked on Alex's door, flash drive in hand. his own confession vid, denouncing the sabotage. Uploaded. With mine. Dawn broke with dual posts, narratives colliding, the swimming world reeling. Golds followed. Alex's freestyle a blur of glory, Jordan's lens eternal. Olympic year dawned with the ferocity of a flip turn, Rio's shadow from 2016 paling against Paris 2024's electric promise. Eiffel Tower aglow. Seine swims a historic nod to inclusivity. Alex, now 25, carried world's golds like badges of survival, but the cycle ground anew. Camps in Colorado Springs, altitude thinning air and sharpening edges. Jordan tagged along as official chronicler, their docs spawning a podcast, Laps of Liberation, episodes dissecting queer athleticism with guests from gymnasts to gridiron players. Homefront steadied. Abuela relocated to Austin for treatments, her apartment a hub of tamales and tales, Dad retiring early to help out. His quiet gestures, fixing her porch swing, attending pride potlucks, mending old riffs. "You're teaching me, son," he'd admit over beers, vulnerability a gift Alex cherished. Marcus proposed to his boyfriend mid-season, a beachside affair where Alex best-manned, toasts sloshing with joy. But Paris prep unearthed buried mines. USOC board meetings, virtual marathons of bureaucracy, circled Alex like sharks, graves ousted but successors wary, mandating unity sessions laced with microaggressions. "Diversity's great," one exec drawled, "but cohesion wins medals." Jordan leaked audio, sparking Swim United trends, allies amplifying. Brody, reformed in fits and starts, joined a panel with Alex at a youth clinic, their duet a masterclass in redemption. "We were enemies by design," Brody said, mic steady. "Now, teammates by choice." Strain tested the core, though. Jordan's rising profile, fest invites, book deals, clashed with Alex's isolation in high-altitude bubbles. Fights escalated over FaceTime. "You're gone more than here," Alex vented, poolside in the Rockies. "And you're swimming away from us," Jordan countered, studio lights harsh. A week of radio silence followed, broken by Abuela's intervention, a care package of her empanadas, note reading, "Love laps too. Don't drown in silence." Reunion in Austin was raw. Airport pickup dissolving into tears, Jordan's arms a harbor. "I can't lose you to this," Alex confessed, driving home through hill country dusk. "Then let's redefine winning," Jordan proposed. Pod after Paris. Joint life. The pact sealed with rings, simple titanium bands, engraved with waves, worn under caps, a private oath. Paris arrived in July blaze. Opening ceremony a spectacle of unity. Alex marching with the delegation, rainbow pin gleaming. Jordan, credentialed, captured the Seine relay, a mixed queer/straight exhibition, Alex anchoring to cheers. Village life buzzed. Pin trades turning confessional. A rower from Canada sharing transition timelines. A sprinter from Jamaica evading death threats for her flag. "We're the revolution," she said, and Alex nodded, the weight shared lightning. Heats flew by. Alex's form peak, strokes efficient as poetry, turns defying physics. Semis tested, a false start DQ scare, buzzer mercy sparing him. Jordan's steady presence grounded, nightly debriefs over crepes, your poetry in motion. But eve of the 200 free final, disaster struck. A stomach bug sweeping the village, Alex sidelined puking, 4 dripped in the clinic. Dehydration DQ, coach fretted. "Or we scratch." "No," Alex rallied. Abuela's rosary clutched, Jordan's hand in his, one lap at a time. Finals night, arena throbbing, Alex towed the block, belly churning but will iron. Dive swallowed him, water-cool mercy, pulls propelling past pain. At 150, lead slipping, Brody, swimming for Cal in the stands, now commentator, boomed over broadcast, Rivera's fading. No surge. He touched silver, agonizingly close to gold, but the roar was deafening, metal heavy with honor. Podium tears flowed, anthem swelling, Jordan's camera blurring. Post-race presser devolved into chaos. A reporter lobbing. "Does your relationship distract?" Alex, sweat slick, fired back. "It fuels. Jordan's my coach, my muse. Ask any champion." Claps drowned the follow-up. But elation cracked with news. Back home, Abuela's heart faltered again, emergency surgery pending. Alex flew mid-games, silver tucked in carry-on, Jordan rerouting to San Antonio. Hospital vigil was harrowing. Beeps, fluorescent purgatory, family huddled. Abuela woke groggy, gripping his hand. Silver? Better than my gold. Your heart. She pulled through, a fighter to the end, and Alex returned for relays, anchoring to bronze, but unbreakable. Closing ceremony, torch dimming, he proposed publicly, Jordan's yes echoing amid fireworks. Homecoming was heroes' welcome. Parade down Congress Avenue, Abuela waving from a convertible, Dad beaming. But quiet settled, the high fading to reflection. Jordan's doc sequel greenlit, Brody guesting for a redemption arc. Marcus's wedding loomed, Alex officiating. Yet a letter arrived, USOC, offering Alex a board seat. Shape the future, it read. Tempting, terrifying. In the natatorium one last time that season, Alex swam freestyle, unhurried, Jordan timing from the deck. What's next? Jordan asked, whistle dangling. Alex surfaced, grinning. Us. Always. The water rippled, secrets held, ready for the next wave. Post-Paris life reshaped like sandcastles after tide, Alex retiring from elite competition at 26. Not burnout, but evolution. I've lapped the world, he told a packed press conference, Jordan at his side, bands glinting. Time to coach the next wave. The USOC seat accepted, his voice now policy shaping, dismantling the very biases that once banned him. Graves faded to footnotes, his legacy a cautionary tale in board trainings Alex mandated. Jordan's empire grew, laps, franchise exploding, books and keynotes, but rooted in Austin, coaching a queer youth swim club with Alex. Lanes alive with splashes and stories. Abuela thrived, her memoir dictated to Jordan, a bilingual tapestry of hidden loves unveiled. Write it true, she insisted. For the girls like me. Marcus's wedding was sun-drenched bliss on Galveston sands. Alex's vows weaving friendship into forever. You saw me when I was invisible. Now, stand visible together. Tears and toasts flowed. Brody surprising as a groomsman, his toast raw. Alex taught me grace. Don't squander it. Redemption full circle, hugs exchanged over Gulf breezes. Challenges lingered, subtle as undercurrents. A sponsor sued over the leaked Graves vid, claiming defamation, settled out of court, but stress carved lines. Youth club faced pushback, parents petitioning closures, but Alex's testimony, Abuela's letter read aloud, swayed the council. Pools are for all, he argued, voice steady. Victory tasted of chlorine and justice. Personal tides turned too. Jordan's fertility journey. IVF consultations blending hope and heartache. Alex holding space through needle pricks and what-ifs. Our family, they dreamed, ultrasounds of future sketched in blips. Abuela's wisdom anchored. Blood or chosen, love lapsed deepest. One anniversary, they revisited Omaha, Trials Arena, quiet off-season. Alex dove in, echoing that defiant lap, Jordan filming from rafters. Surfacing, he called up, this is where it shattered. And rebuilt. Jordan descended, embrace wet and warm. Our stories, endless relay. Years folded, Club Nationals won, a kid from the program. Trans, timid, medaling gold, Alex's pin on their cap. Podcast episodes evolved. Guests like Brody sharing sponsorships for ally initiatives. Abuela passed gently at 92, funeral a celebration, swimmers in suits, stories swapped like laps. Legacy rippled, scholarships in Alex's name, policy reforms crediting his fight. With Jordan, a daughter arrived, adopted, fierside, splashing in backyard pools. Teach her to swim free, Jordan said, cradling her. Alex nodded, heart full. Like we did. The final lap? Not an end, but a turn, toward horizons uncharted. Love the stroke that carried them. In quiet moments, Alex whispered to the water, we shattered the board. Now we build bridges. And dove in, endless, unbroken.